Hi, and welcome to the Assembly Lines podcast. I'm Chris Torrance. In today's episode, I want to do a review of a new computer role-playing game for the Apple II called Undead. So let's get started. We're going to do a review of a new computer role-playing game for the Apple II called Undead. This is by 8-Bit Shack, which is Marc Golombeck and Daniel Henderson, and Jonathan Adar also helped with all of the creation of the actual items as well as the fulfillment. They currently have a Kickstarter, and I'll put a link in the show notes to that. So if you're interested, you can go back them on that. Let's go ahead and see what is inside the box. So full disclosure, I got an advanced copy of the game for a small discount. But otherwise, this should be more or less what's included in the Kickstarter. So first of all, you can see it comes with this attractive cardboard box, and it has pictures all over it. All right, and let's just open it up and see what is inside. So it looks like there's a bunch of goodies in here. Let's just start out with the first thing. This appears to be a letter. It's an introduction by Daniel Henderson, and it's just talking about the game and how they created it and why. And finally it ends, have fun and don't linger too long, or you may also become undead. So cool, we'll have to read that more later. Let's see. Here is a 8-Bit Shack sticker that is included. We have a USB thumb drive with the Undead branding on it, and I'm assuming that the game is actually on here. And let's see what else. There's a few more things. So we have a pen, which I guess is actually, it looks like it has a stylus on it, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so pen with a stylus and the Undead branding. And then finally, it looks like we have a poster. So let's open that up and see what that looks like. All right. The House of Dysphoria. These must be either characters in the game that you perhaps encounter, or perhaps, I'm not sure if you play these characters. I'm going into this completely cold. I don't really know anything about the game or how it works or anything. I haven't seen anything online, so we'll just have to kind of wing it. I've gotten the files off of the USB stick that came with the game, and so you can see there's a bunch of different files. You get a copy of the poster, so this is just a PDF version of it. There's a few other PDFs, and then there is the disk image itself, which is a ProDOS disk image, a .po. And if we take a look at that, it is an 800K disk. So this definitely wouldn't work in a 5¼ inch floppy drive. You would need to ideally just use it as a hard drive disk image, which is what I'm going to end up doing. And then here is this important information PDF, which is on the thumb drive. Have you ever been trapped in a nightmare from which there is seemingly no awakening? Let's see. Apple II double low-res adventure game. And let's see. 80 places to visit. Several NPCs to talk to. Changing quest goals. When entering different levels after solving the puzzles. A hidden Easter egg. And it looks like it also has Mockingbird sound to it. And then finally, here's a history of the Land of Dysphoria. Okay, and here's the system requirements. So it looks like you need to have a at least an Apple IIe. So it will work with a Rev B Apple IIe, but you can also use it with a 2E Enhanced, a 2C, a 2C Plus, or a 2GS. You have to have 128K of RAM, and it looks like you need to have a 65 CO2 chip for the Mockingbird. All right, let's go ahead and fire up the Undead game. I've got this in an Apple IIe Enhanced. I'm using a W drive for the hard drive support, and I'm using a custom 2MG disk image that I got from 8-Bit Shack, just because that had a 32 megabyte image on it, which seemed to work better than the one provided on the USB stick. I'm using a VidHD for the HDMI. I've got a Mockingboard in slot 4, and I have a soft SP card in slot 2, and that provides the Smart Port support. So let's fire it up. All right, it checks to make sure that I have a 65 CO2 with 128K of memory, so I should be good to go. Are you scared? Yes. Okay, so here's the splash screen, and let's see, I'm going to use the joystick here as a mouse. So let me adjust the trim control here. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll play the game. You wake up with a bad feeling in an unfamiliar place, and your nightmare begins. Okay, here we are in the land of dysphoria. So this is the user interface, and you can move the joystick or your mouse around, click on stuff, and maybe there's stuff to interact with. It doesn't look like on this screen. If you move down to the bottom, then you get the interface controls. So this is a talk button here. This is a T. This is I for information, and this just tells you what you're currently looking at. A dark, shadowy castle looms ahead. And then these are the directions that you can go. So here I can go either west, south, or east. And if let's see. I guess I can either click on, say, the E, or I can hit the space bar to get it to go. So I hit E, or clicked on the E, and now I'm at the castle door. And here's a case where I can click on something, and I got a lock. I already tried the number 1984 and that did not work, but let's just go back, and see, here you can say I only have one direction to go, which is just south, and we'll go back west. So I think you're definitely gonna have to map with this game, because there's a lot of directions to go from each location, and it seems pretty easy to get lost. Let's go south. Okay, we're at some sort of gate here, and let's go south again. Okay, so here's a person. So if I hit the talk button, have you seen rotting flesh reanimated? It's captivating. That's kind of gross. Who is this, by the way? Okay. The back of the castle wall is framed by a moat. Alright, that did not tell me who this was. So we can go back north, and here we are. If we go east... Whoa! Many strange beings roam through this land. Let's talk to this person. Once this was a kingdom full of light. Now we are at dusk for eternity. Huh. Southwest. Go back west. Let's go west here. Whoa, what is this? The hollow stump has been carved with writing. Okay, can I click on it? Yes. Ooh. Okay, there's a number 1. Okay, go back. Go west. Oh, who's this? A strange creature stands in a cluster of dying trees. All right. I think you need to look underwater. Okay. Okay. South. Oh, God. Who is this? Have you ever counted fish bones? Clue? Alright, let's save the game. If I hit Control S. Saving. Cool. Okay, so I can save the game, I can quit, and I think I can restore. Let's hit Control Q, and we'll click Goodbye. Okay, and then we just come back after we quit to Bitsy Buy, which these are actually all the files on the disk here. So you can actually examine all the files. You can copy it to your own hard drive or to a 800K disk if you want to run it that way. So I think I'll stop here. I don't want to give away any more secrets to the game. All right, so we've been looking at the game Undead from 8-Bit Shack by Daniel Henderson and Marc Golombeck with assistance from Jonathan Adar, amongst others. And overall impressions, it seems like a very cool game. I really love the double low resolution graphics. There's very few games or programs that took advantage of double low res. And you can see that you can actually make really interesting pictures as well as even text just with something that's only 80 pixels. I believe it's 80 pixels by 24. This is currently a Kickstarter. They're offering various tiers in the Kickstarter. The primary one being the boxed set with the game itself, and as you saw, you get quite a few little doodads with it, including a branded USB stick, a pen that has the Undead logo in it, a cast of characters as a poster, as well as a written set of instructions and a sticker, and then it comes in this attractive box. The box itself is nice. It holds all the contents. I kind of wish it would have been a little bit thicker, sturdier material. However, given the price of the Kickstarter box set, it kind of all makes sense. I had a little bit of trouble with the 800K disk image, and so they provided me with a 32 meg 2MG disk image, and so hopefully they'll actually include that in the final shipping USB stick. So overall, I think this is looks like a really cool game. I'm excited to get in and actually figure out the story and the puzzles and talk to all the characters. I'll put a link in the show notes to where you can back the Kickstarter. Also, if you're not currently a subscriber to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to back me more, I have a Patreon, and I'll put a link in the show notes to that. Once again, thanks for watching.